Hello and welcome. This is Dr. Suzanne, and today I would like to talk about the warfare series, Who is Fighting You? The Invisible War Revealed. How did this happen? I was in prayer, and then as I was praying, I started inquiring of the Lord and asking questions about spiritual warfare. And what I learned will blow your mind. So because there is so much to unpack, I'm just going to briefly go over each topic, because it's going to be who is behind your spiritual attacks, what are they after, what technology do they use, and then I give you the solutions for curses and for altar-powered attacks directly from the Lord. Okay? So this is very powerful. Now, because I will not have, enough time to explain all this, I wrote a booklet specifically explaining everything I received, and I will have the link in my bio and you can access it. Okay, now the first question you have to ask yourself when you see patterns is, who is behind your spiritual attacks? Because we are in a warfare on a permanent basis. Okay, I've had spiritual encounters before where a family member was in like a state of coma, and I knew it wasn't medical. Okay, I'm a medical doctor, and I know I knew it was spiritual because I just knew what happened before, what was happening, and as I was observing, I knew, right? So I began to pray. Some prayers, some warfare prayers, and all of a sudden, someone started talking. A family member that was deceased a year prior, and it was his voice, it was his mannerism, and I was like, what are you doing here? What's going on? Okay, so I was able, for 2 to 3 days, I was able to shift the atmosphere to interrogate that family member, okay, and get so much detailed information, even information I could not have because some other family members back home blocked the information. I asked the person and I got all the answers. Is to tell you that sometimes you go through, and this happened, maybe 4 years ago? I don't remember. But is to tell you that you increase your spiritual discernment and experience based on the encounters that you have. So I can be here and really arrest spirits, figure out even the spiritual form they're having, figure out, what type of spirits they are, and then according to what I know, I wage warfare. And most of the time, I have great results, okay? So, what I learned is that most of the person who are sending those spirits are people who know me, and I know them. So you always want to figure out who is behind your attack. You have to understand that an altar has to be used in order to send spirits on errand. Spirit are executors, okay? They heed to our voice and our command, and they do what we send them to do. All right. You need to understand, if there is a coven, who is part of that coven? Me, at this stage, I already know all the people attacking me, whether in my family, whether in the in-laws, whether among acquaintances, whether among people, that I don't really know that closely. And I can tell what type of attack they are launching. Okay, but I mean, that's the reason why I can tell you what happens behind the scenes. All right, why are they after you? To understand why they are after you, because these were questions I had to ask the Lord. What is the issue? For the past 3-4 months, I've been having strange encounters with spirits, and I had to ask the Lord, what is going on? It didn't used to be like that. So what he told me is that I have to go back to the book of Genesis, and he explained to me creation, how he created the souls, because I was asking, okay, did you create the spirit? Did you create the souls? We were made in your image. What exactly is going on? So he created the souls, and he embedded spiritual blessings in the soul. Genesis 1:28, and God blessed them, and God said unto them, be fruitful and multiply, and replenish the earth, and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the sea, over the fowl of the air, and over every living thing that moveth upon the earth. Those blessings were spoken in Genesis 1:28 before Adam was formed in Genesis 2:7. Adam was formed from the earth, okay, from the dust of the earth, because that man was designed to rule on the earth. So he had to have a component of the earth in order to survive in that new environment. So God made the body to embed the soul, and then he gave his spirit to give life to that soul. And that's what it says in Genesis 2:7. And the Lord God formed man of the dust of the ground, and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and he became a living soul. Okay, then I told the Lord, how do we go from there up to all kinds of attacks and all that? He told me a few things. Number one, the soul and the blood have a connection. Okay, in order to access your soul, people need to have your blood code. But not everybody in your family has your blood code. Initially, as a child, your parents, if you have a parent who goes to witchcraft altars or goes to places to find information, they will get your blood codes. But in your own family, you have uncles and aunties and cousins that may have your blood code, because they are maybe witches, maybe they are, human demons. And why do I say that? Because you have to remember that in Genesis 6, there was a shift in humanity. There were spirits who had intercourse with women, and they produced hybrids. And those hybrids, because they are not really from the Lord, some of them come without the blessings that are embedded in the soul. And this is what they are looking for. They are going after your soul. Why are they going after your soul? Because your soul stores your calling, the name God has given to you according to Jeremiah 1:5, your divine marriage with your kingdom spouse according to Genesis 1:27, all your blessings, your wealth and dominion, according to Genesis 1:28, and your timing. Your timing is your birth, your death, your breakthroughs, your season, whenever something is going to happen in your life. All that is embedded in your soul. Therefore, spirits need your blood code in order to access your soul, because they are looking for those spiritual blessings. Remember, all spiritual blessings have been given to you. It's up to you to actualize them in the physical realm, okay? Like, I don't know if I was telling you, I was talking to the Lord, and he was telling me that he has given me seats. And with every passing month, the seats are increasing. I'm like, Father, what's happening? But it's in the spiritual realm. But because I have an understanding now of how to actualize them, I understand why those spirits are coming after me, because they're coming to steal. They want to take those seats, right? They want to take the fresh new anointing the Lord is placing on me. New level, new devils. Okay? So you need to have that understanding that you are being targeted every day. And what creates that target is whatever God embeds in your soul as spiritual gifts is going to be your brightness, is going to be whatever you carry. You're going to attract the attacks. All right. So what is the technology? The technology is using altars. They have to use altars. What's on an altar? The altar, first of all, is the interface between human being, the priest, and spirit. And there are spiritual transactions that are going on at the altar. What are they targeting? I said it again. They're targeting your calling. They're targeting your divine marriage. They're targeting your blessings, your wealth, dominion. They're targeting your timing of events. Sometimes what they do, if they are, human spirits of those hybrids, the Nephilims, they don't have any blessings embedded in them like a child of God. So what they do, they will target you to steal some of your blessings so they can be transferred to them. That's why you'll be surprised that so many people that are not even Christian can be blessed so much. Is because they know the technology to steal from you, and you have no clue that your blessings are being stolen. The other technology they use is curses. They attach spirits to you to block your manifestation. Okay? So if I only look at the spirits we mentioned this passage of Ephesians, we have the principalities. The principalities are eaters of flesh and drinkers of blood. This is their characteristics and their roles. The powers are the spirits that will come to overpower the authority of the soul and steal your spiritual blessings. The rulers of darkness affect your timing, they cause delay, they make you miss your breakthroughs, and that's how you get delayed in your destiny. Wickedness in high place are master executors of curses. Okay, I want to talk about the curses. What is a curse? A curse, let's say, is a malediction, is a bad wish someone attaches to you, but there is a spirit sent on errand to attach itself to your soul. Now, there are two types of curses. There are the curses that people will just utter because they are mad at you, and they will send that spirit into your aura. And that spirit will stay there until it begins to execute whatever was said. Remember, the power of life and death is in the tongue. You also have the other type of curse that is, generational in nature. That is caused by the powers, okay? And then, so in the booklet, I go more in detail on how they work, how to break them. And then I talk about the altar-powered attacks. And those altar-powered attacks require an altar, and the spirits that are dispatched from those altars are the principalities, the powers, and the rulers of darkness, okay? So there is a strategy to understand exactly how to identify them and how to pray it, okay? I did my own prayers too, following the Lord. Like, he is so precise. When I was trying to skip a step, it was like, you supposed to say this, you supposed to say that. So if you want to know all this, get the link, get the booklet, because it's already taking a long time. But you know, spiritual warfare is something super deep. It's not something you can just brush. And in this booklet, I'm only talking about those 4 types of spirits, okay? Principalities, powers, rulers of darkness, and wickedness in high places. But you need to know that there are so many more. You have the leviathans, you have the mermaids, you have the serpents, you have the scorpions, you have all kinds of things that happen, and each one of them does something different, and your approach has to be different. But at least if you have the basis, you will avoid a lot of delays in your destiny, okay? All right, so I think I've talked a lot. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.